What's going on, everybody? It's your boy PTK Blam back in the building with another video. And yes, a very, very, very special video. Today is a very, very, very special day. Today was the Xbox Developer Direct 2025. Shout out to Xbox for putting on another phenomenal show. But first and foremost, please hit the subscribe button. Like the video if you guys are enjoying the content, man. I want to do these videos more often. I plan on doing them more often, so plan on seeing these videos up more. And the Shop Podcast will be back more than likely. We're working on a new date, probably going to be on Sundays, to be honest with you guys, but we're going to lock that in, and I'll get that to you guys officially here very, very soon, because we got to get back into the flow of the show. It is too much good news going on, man, and I definitely want to get back into that. But either way, man, shout out to everybody who is here watching live. But once again, I want to jump into this, man. Today was a phenomenal day, another notch in the belt for Xbox, man. Listen, first and foremost, we got to give credit where credit is due. If we're going to be gamers, if we're going to have these discussions and have these conversations, we have to be honest. The nonsense has to stop. Xbox has been cooking for way too long, and there's way too much evidence of them continuing to cook for it to sit up here and be a narrative that they don't have any games or that they're not doing their jobs. I think people have forgot what we're here for, and today was another example. Shout out to Tina Amini, shout out to Xbox. I've said it, and I'll say it again here. She was the best hire that Xbox has ever had outside of either hiring Phil Spencer or getting Sarah Bond. Her and her team has completely changed everything since she's been in charge. Since they put her in charge of these showcases and marketing for Xbox, things have done a complete 180. Every single showcase has been a banger. The bar's been raised every single year, and they have seemingly jumped over the bar or raised it every single year for the last 3 years. This is the third one. Once again, people, January Dev Direct Showcase. 3 years ago, these did not exist. Once again, Xbox doing things nobody else is doing, but we'll get into that. I want to get into more of the specifics of the showcase. The showcase was hype. Shout out to everybody. I actually watched it. I was in chat. Shout out to Mav. I watched it at Fun Speculation, man. I'll probably drop his link down in the description. Go check it out there. If you didn't watch it live, go follow Mav, man. Good people over there. Good discussion. Fantastic show as usual. Shout out to you, Mav, once again. But phenomenal showcase, man. Xbox did it again. They nailed it. 4-game show. Well, technically 5. I'll get into that particular, but 4-game show for the most part. And every single one banged. Every single one was awesome. Once again, we already knew about the 3. And just going over the 3, we already knew about South of Midnight, Clair Obscura, Expedition 33, and then Doom the Dark Ages. Already was excited about those, but to get the gameplay, the level of detail we've come to expect from these developer directs, man, these are just as good as, as their showcases in the summertime. Obviously not to the larger degree, but as far as quality, how you want to present these games in like a 45, 60-minute showcase, this is how you do it. From the pacing, from the amount of gameplay you see, from the amount of developers you see, showing the developers behind the scenes working on the games, allowing them just to talk about the games, not doing any funny cutscenes or anything, just really getting to the root of why we're here, why we enjoy gaming. And that's, seeing these creative people make these really cool ass games and us being able to share those and share our experiences with the worlds that they create. So they did a phenomenal job once again. Like I said, the pacing was on point from day one. And so I want to jump into the more particulars into the game. So we'll just start in order. So obviously the mega bomb of the show, didn't already know, Ninja Gaiden 4, Team Ninja pairing up with Platinum Games. Once again, Platinum Games back on Xbox. Mind you, the last time we saw Platinum Games was, we're not going to get into that. We're going to leave that alone. But on the greener pastures, good to see them back on the platform. And once again, we got to be honest, people. There's very few developers who can make combat like Platinum Games can. That Devil May Cry combat that we've come to know and love, that's where we get it from. The tight combat, and so it's cool to see them back on the stage with Team Ninja. Obviously, cool thing, Xbox publishing this. That's very interesting. Xbox actually publishing this. It's going to be on everything. It is a multi-plat, which is interesting. But Xbox footing the bill to bring the IP back. I think that's the most important thing, too, is that we're getting this franchise back where it's supposed to be. Right in that AAA, we missed this game. We missed Ninja Gaiden, you know what I mean? And on top of that, we got a side scroller too recently. So they're really doing a great job of trying to reintroduce this game back to a newer fan base that haven't really gotten a chance to play or didn't even know a Ninja Gaiden exists. You see a lot of the other games like the Neos. You see those games. You see a lot of other games. That Phantom Blade Zero, get that gameplay, that style of combat. A lot of that comes from Ninja Gaiden. So to see the OG come back in form, new character, obviously to see Ryu back, Hayabusa back in a cool way. It looks like you can actually play through with both characters at some point. I'm not sure if you can switch back and forth, but it looks like at some point you play with both, and they even have clashes throughout. But obviously the gameplay was tight. Obviously, graphically, it was beautiful. They did a lot of really, really cool things. It was amazing just to see. Obviously, I didn't think Ninja Gaiden that wasn't my choice. I was looking at Lost Odyssey, Blue Dragon before the show, but to see Ninja Gaiden come back, that is fucking phenomenal. I'm super excited for that. Cannot wait. The game's coming out in the fall. They didn't say a specific month, but it's good to know that it will be this year. Good to see it back out. So, next game was my personal most anticipated game, and that was South of Midnight. Phenomenal game, once again, made by Compulsion. We Happy Few developers. Once again, a ton more gameplay. Some of it we've seen already. Some of the gameplay we've seen already, admittedly. But every time I see it, it looks a little tighter, looks a little better. The idea starts coming together. We did get to see a lot of new areas today. We got to see a lot of new in-depth combat. Got to see a lot of new enemies. So all of that stuff was new. More lore. They tied a lot of the stuff together with her mother, a lot of the stuff with how her powers work and where that comes from, the areas and how the main bosses are kind of the areas built up around the main bosses, all of that stuff. To see it come together in a cohesive form, amazing. Top quality. Once again, I think it's going to be one of the most underrated games this year. All right. I think it's going to be one of the most underrated games this year. Phenomenal game. I believe the release date was April. Now don't quote me on that. I'll put it down in the description as well. I was super happy for that game. Once again, I think the game's going to be a little bit bigger than a lot of people even think. Looking at some of those worlds, some of those areas, I think they got a lot to offer. But I'm super hyped for that. Next game was Expedition 33. Phenomenal game, came out of nowhere. Sandfall Interactive. Obviously, last year we saw this game at the showcase. Wasn't on anybody's radar. Boom! Now it's on everybody's radar. Now after this, the Relevant Direct, everybody's talking about it. The game is phenomenal. Obviously, it's a hybrid, kind of a JRPG / turn-based. Obviously, it's interactive. They showed a little bit of more of that in depth, how you can actually be interactive, parry interactively while making decisions and choices. You know what I mean? Trying to predict what's going on with the computer. The environment's beautiful. Graphically, it is beautiful. They showed a ton of story stuff. It's really a lot more in depth than I thought. The story is super interesting. I thought the number thing worked a little differently, but how they explained it is actually more interesting. How whatever number she paints, everybody older than that disappears, which is I think even more interesting than the concept that I thought it was. So that's really cool. Like I said, graphically, they showed the environment, broke that down. The game is massive. They actually showed some new characters today. One of the characters specifically is like this gigantic balloon character. I might pop it on the screen here so you guys can see. Amazing. That's kind of how you get around the world, and the world is massive. The game is far larger than I thought. Now, I don't know how many play hours it's going to be, but because it's a turn-based RPG and the world looks massive. And they implore you to explore. They say, please go. You're going to have to progress through the game. So you got to go explore, go find stuff, go do things, go have interactions, go have different battles. So it feels like you can kind of get through it however you want. There's really no way particular to get through it. You can kind of play in every order, and that's really, really cool too to see that. Obviously the game looked amazing. I'm super happy for that studio, the developers. Obviously that's another game that's coming out, I believe April as well. So April is killing right now. It might be May. I can't remember exactly. I'll put it on the screen and or put it down in the description so you guys can see. So I'm super happy for that game too. That's at the top of the list. And once again, mind you, don't forget, all of these games are in Game Pass. They're also all play anywhere games, which means wherever Game Pass exists, you'll be able to play the game, whether it's a handheld, your laptop, your tablet, wherever the case may be. You have access to these games. The cloud, that is freaking awesome. We need more of that. Every game needs to be play anywhere. We need more of that. Being able to access these games wherever you could possibly play them is awesome. Cool. That's the best value that you can possibly have in gaming. And then last but not least, I obviously wanted to get in a legacy title for me, another game that I was highly anticipating, and that's Doom: The Dark Ages, man. And when I tell you that rock music started playing, and boy, the heartbeat goes up, you start sweating a little bit, and then the combat comes on. And some of the cool things and just specifics, obviously it's a prequel to Doom 2016. It leads actually right into Doom 2016, the developer said. I love the fact I enjoyed Doom Eternal, but it was quite platformy. And the fact that they're going back to more ground tank, fast tank, mind you, not just slow tank, going back to a more ground-based, like a fast tank original, that's right up my alley. Please give me more of that. So they're giving me more of that. I love it. Huge open world. I think they might have mentioned how massive the game is. Might be one of the biggest Dooms that they've ever made. They once again, they want you to explore. There's a ton of hidden stuff you can find. Chests, abilities, gear, all kinds of different stuff. So they want you to go find that stuff. Massive world. They definitely mentioned that there is no order in which you can do anything. You can do anything in any order that you see fit. So there's really no way in particular to like in any specific order. There might be specific missions to progress the story, but as far as like how you want to do them, there may not really be an order. So that's kind of cool to see as well too. Then they got into some of the other cool stuff we seen in that first trailer. More specifically, mechs and a flying dragon. So mechs, 30 stories tall. They move almost as quick as a character. It's like you're a gigantic rock'em sock'em robot. You can dash. And the mechs and the dragon also have skills, I believe. I believe they also have skills, individual skills themselves. So I believe you can level those up. It's amazing. The obviously the tech, the graphics. We know the gameplay is going to be tight. That's one thing we do not have to worry about. We're not guessing 30 frames. No, none of that. That's not happening with Doom. It's going to run at a crazy frame rate, probably up to whatever your PC can handle. On console, it's probably going to be a lock 60, I would assume. You know, that's what that tech does, man. They're phenomenal. But the game looked amazing. The Flying Dragon, that also looked amazing. Being able to get around the map quickly. You have a turret on that bad boy. There's actually area-specific bosses that you have to fight. Like specific bosses you have to fight using the dragon and, you know what I mean, its abilities and things like that. So that's really cool. It's just amazing. It's amazing. So once again, Xbox fucking nailed it. This narrative has to stop, man. We got to get better at this. If we want to grow as a community as a whole, we got to be honest about these things, man. Xbox has been carrying these showcases for damn near 3 years at this point. I don't even include Nintendo. Xbox has absolutely been carrying. They've been doing their job. Now, I know everybody doesn't always get what they want, but you cannot say that they have not ramped up things from a game standpoint. There's no roadmap issue at Xbox. And even the most staunch Xbox hater can absolutely put those things to bed, especially after the showcase today. The first 6 months is stacked. That's not including whatever else is already announced or is going to be for Game Pass as well. Second party, third party, first party stuff. Atomfall, I believe, is in like February. Like, what are we talking about? There's other games still coming out, and we're not even gotten to the second half. So once again, hit the like on the video if you guys enjoy the content. The Shop Podcast will be back. Once again, in the description too, let me know what you think about the Developer Direct, A+, whatever grade you see fit, man. But I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out, everybody.